Okay, so good afternoon to all the attendees. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Gabby and today I'm going to be your interviewer. First of all, before you read all the passage, what do you think the media in your country say about educational standards?
For education standards in Indonesia, I think people always talk about 12 years of school. 12 years means that in general, Indonesian people go to school from elementary to high school. 6 years for the elementary, 3 years for junior high school, 3 years for senior high school. How about you, Auntie and Karin? Have you ever heard about the standard 12 years of school?
Basically the education standard in Indonesia, which is 12 years of school, has a good and bad side too. The good side was we've been taking so long education, so it can evolve slowly. We've been wanted to continue studying with evolving, so we can develop skills and patience that we have. But the bad sides, honestly, it's a long time. Sure, it's 12 years, right? It's been a pretty long time. And unfortunately, we have to learn all the lessons and have to understand everything. We can learn and pursue the fields or passion we like or to go. So it has two sides if we look up to. How about you, Karin?
Yes, I think in Indonesia it's 12 years of education. And 12 years of education, I think it's sufficient and pretty appropriate standard for people in Indonesia because if they following less than 12 years of education, I think they will lack of knowledge compared to people from around the world who are competing to achieve the highest education. Even with these standards, there are still many Indonesian people who have less education, and because so many people are illiterate, find it difficult to get a job and become unemployed. So in my opinion, the standard of education in Indonesia is pretty good, but it should be improved.
Right. And then how did teachers discipline children at school they attended?
Okay, I think I want to answer it first. Based on my experience, every teacher has their own rules and how to teach their students. Different teachers, different rules. It feels like personal, but yep, it's something like that. It's like the rules are made by each teacher to discipline their children. There are a good rules of school, but personality of each teacher made it firm.
Yes, also based on my experience, my teacher gave us some rules that must be obeyed. For example, we can't be late, we have to do all assignments that take exams as a graduation requirement. And I think there is one rule that should be tightened in my school. It's we're not allowed to use cell phones during lessons, but these rules are always violated by students where they always use cell phones so that the learning isn't conducive. So I think teachers should monitor all of their students more stringent so they'll become more obedient.
For me, almost same with Auntie and Karin. From my experience, my teacher always gives some rules to discipline the students. If we don't follow the rules, we will be punished. And I think that was such an effective way as long as the teacher provides educational rules and punishment.
Right. And then last one, before we go to read the passage, please take a look at the picture in the article. Do you think the teacher is strict? If yes, why? And if not, give your opinion, please.
Yes, based on the photo, I feel that the teacher is pretty strict because in her posture, I can see uh, her expression. She is observing her students who are doing exams and giving warnings with firm attitude. What about you, Acha? What do you think?
I don't think so. Maybe I think teacher is strict because she looks that she has a stern face. But from that picture too, I can see that the teacher has patience in teaching. How about us?
Has okay. Honestly, I'm bad at guessing people expression, but I agree with Karyn. I can see her face and how the past posture she has. I'm pretty sure her student was scared.
Such interesting question. Interesting answer. And now, after reading the title and introduction of the passage, what is it about?
I think it's about teaching methods that applied at school in China and UK, but I'm not really sure. What do you think, Acha?
In my opinion, from the introduction, I think the article talks about the difference between some teaching methods in China and the UK, where we know that China and the UK have different cultures, including in teaching culture.
I agree with Karen and Echa. We have the same answer.
And then going deeper to the question, what were the main ideas of the second passage? And does understanding of text structure help you to locate answer quickly?
So I think in the second paragraph of the article, it discussed the experiments that have been carried out, where some teachers from China were brought to teach at school in the UK, and the experiment was conducted to see the reactions of the teachers and students involved. And for the text structure, I think it makes me easier to understand the article and find the point quickly.
I think the same as Acha. The main idea is in the second paragraph. And yes, understanding text structure really helps me decide which answer is correct because it's easier to understand what the paragraph is about and pick the main idea.
I agree with Echa and Karin. I think the main idea is right in the second paragraph. Understanding the text structure helps me to understand and identify the main idea quickly because I already know the text structure.
Okay. Now move on to the general questions, which I want to know about what do you guys think about studying abroad? Would you like to study in another country? Why or why not?
Yes, of course. I've always wanted to study abroad to experience how to live independent, increase my knowledge, and of course, to find connections. I think that by studying abroad, I will be more confident with my education. And I think study abroad, it's easier for us to get a job in Indonesia. But because of my mother that never let me leave Jakarta and always make me live near her, I'm stuck in Jakarta now. But probably I would go to London to do a short course for a couple months after I graduate from my university.
Okay, somehow there was a time when I wanted it very much, but there was a time when I want to move back. I'm very interested in continuing my study in South Korea. The reasons why, because I love the cities and somehow it's motivated me to go study abroad there. I feel like an educated woman has a great role and stood straight to her own life. So that's why.
Interesting. Sometimes I want to study abroad because, of course, I will get new knowledge, new friends, and new experience. One of the things that push me to study abroad is to learn language. With study abroad, I think I will learn to speak in English or Chinese fluently. But behind that, there are many fears that I have. I'm worried that I will feel lonely, feel culture shock, homesick, and others. Maybe one day I will study abroad for cooking school.
Okay, last one, and also to close this interview, do you agree that the school environment affects learning?
Of course, I agree. I think the school environment gives a big impact to learning. Therefore, today many people are trying to attend the best schools with a high quality school environment, and a great school environment have a great people and a great students. So it will have a good impact on the learning process too, I think.
I also completely agree because the environment greatly affects the mood and spirit of a student. If the environment they have is very boring and rigid, students will tend to be sleepy and unfocused. But if the environment they have is fun and interesting, students will feel happy and focused on learning so that learning runs effectively.
Yep, I agree with Acha and Karyn because sometimes the environment is everything. If you're in a good environment, you must be in something good.
Yeah, nice answers, you guys. And I agree with all of your opinion. Now to sum up all of this, what are new reading skills that you experience specifically after reading the passage?
Okay, for that reading skill that we must to have that we should to read all that and identify each sentence for the detail. We need to understand the article and keep focus while reading. Also, write the main points in every paragraph helps me so much to improve my reading skills.
I think from this reading experience, I feel that this article was easier to understand. Maybe because in the first part, the article showed different paragraph for every points. But for the reading skills, I learned that it will be easier to understand an article if we start to find the main sentence in every paragraph.
For me, I think I can read the passage and find the main paragraph faster than I usually do, and also understands what is the passage about within a couple minutes. Overall, it really helps me with my reading skills.
All right, we have finished the discussion. Thank you for your cooperation during this session and see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye guys, thank you.